Hey, boys and girls, didn't you just love this book? What do you do with a tale like this? So fun, so much information, too. Let's take a closer look and read just a little bit closer on some of these pages. Don't forget, you need a buddy. Today we're going to practice working on asking and answering questions. Super important when you're reading. What do you do with a nose like this? Speaking of asking questions. Look it, I wonder whose noses these belong to. Oh, and here's our answers. If you're a platypus, you use your nose to dig in the mud. If you're an elephant, you use your nose to give yourself a bath. If you're a hyena, you find your next meal with your nose. If you're a mole, you use your nose to find your way underground. If you're an alligator, you breathe through your nose while hiding in the water. Let me ask you some questions. Let's look at the word platypus. Right here. The text says the platypus uses their nose to dig in the mud. How would the shape of the nose help the platypus dig in the mud? Tell your partner. It does look quite like a shovel, doesn't it? Perfect for digging in the mud. Good job. Let's look at the word hyena down here. The text says that a hyena finds their next meal with their nose. How could a nose find a next meal? Tell your partner. Oh, yes, when people are cooking, you can smell the food. I bet this hyena uses his nose to smell out where his food is. Probably an animal of some sort. Let's look at the mole. A mole is an animal that lives underground. Use this picture to describe what the mole looks like. Tell your partner. I certainly hope you're pausing to talk to your partner. Did you talk about how he's got this gray body? And look at those long claws on his feet. Those might be good for digging underground. And then he's got this crazy whiskery nose. I wonder how that helps him. How would these whiskers help a mole find its way underground? Tell your partner. They do look like little feelers. Those would help him feel around underground where it's really super dark. And moles don't have very good eyesight either. That nose is pretty helpful. Let's look at the alligator. The text says the alligator breathes through their nose while hiding underwater. Describe the alligator's nose. Pause and tell your partner. Did you talk about how it's long and flat looking? Except for this bump here, where it sticks out of the water to help him breathe, while the rest of his body's underwater. You're so smart. What do you do with ears like these? Oh, here's another question. I wonder what animals these ears belong to. Oh, here's the answer to what do you do with ears like these. If you're a bat, you see with your ears. If you're a jackrabbit, you use your ears to keep cool. If you're a cricket, you hear with ears that are on your knees. If you're a humpback whale, you hear sounds hundreds of miles away. If you're a hippopotamus, you close your ears when you're underwater. What can you tell about how the text is organized in this book? Tell your partner, what can you tell about how the text is organized? Check it out. What do you do with ears like these? There's a question, and then the answers. What repetition do you notice? What do you hear over and over and over again? Tell your partner. That's right. It switches between a question, what do you do with, to an answer, if you're a. That's a fun way to do this, make this book. Why do you think the author did this? You're absolutely right. It makes it fun to read this way. I love being able to guess what animal body parts, which animal goes to which body part. Now it's your turn. You're going to need some crayons and a pencil, and you're going to need to get this exit ticket from your teacher. You're going to show me that you can ask a question and answer it just like this book. We were reading about noses today. Let's try that question. What do you do with a nose like this? Draw a nose here of an animal. It could be one of the animals that we've read about in this book, or maybe one of your Florida friends that you're working on for this task. Draw their nose and color it. Do some quality work. Then down here, copy this question. What do you do with a nose like this? Don't forget the question mark. Then on this side, answer it, just like in the book. Show the animal the whole body part with their nose, and then write a sentence to tell what they use their nose for. Great job practicing asking and answering questions with me. I can't wait to see the questions and answers that you did today. Great job.